I know I texted you about that, John, but it's since moved back down because a little bit more money has come in on Oklahoma, and I'll tell you why here shortly. But here's why I'm going Temple team total over 13.5. I think at FanDuel, if you shop around at FanDuel, you can find over 13.5 minus 118. That's actually moved down from minus 120 just like 30 minutes ago. Before we started the show, I looked at it. So here's why I'm doing Temple's team total and not the spread. So right now, if you shop around, I think you can find like anywhere from 22.5 to like 24.5 for the spread. Miss me with that because I feel like we're going to be sweating this out, regardless of what side. If you had Oklahoma covering this number or Temple covering this number, I think there is a greater chance of sweating that out than the Temple team total. Either way, you're probably going to be sweating it out. But the reason why I'm choosing to go with Temple's team total is because this is a sandwich spot, for Oklahoma. It's kind of a trap spot. Now, just because it's a trap spot, and there's been a lot of talk about it, doesn't mean Oklahoma's not going to be ready. But what is the chance that OU comes with their A-plus game right off the bat, coming off the game against Michigan? And then, if Oklahoma does play well in the second and third quarters, what's the chance that Oklahoma finishes the game strong with Auburn on deck?
Yeah.
I feel like Temple, with their quarterback improvement with Simon, he's a senior, he's thrown 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, it's because they've played UMass and Howard. Sure. Like, maybe Temple is getting a little bit too much hype right now. That could be true, no doubt. And I'll give you some stuff here in the weeds here, John. Temple's football page posted a graphic a few days ago of their upcoming game against the Sooners, and then in the background, very small, kind of darkly shaded over, was Baker Mayfield's mugshot.
Oh.
And some Oklahoma fans saw that, and Twitter was going crazy. The Sooner fan base was going a little crazy about that on Twitter. So I am not saying that Oklahoma is not going to come ready, because there's been a lot of discussion over the last 4 to 5 days about this game, and everyone's saying the same thing. It's a trap game. It's a trap game. So maybe Oklahoma actually does come ready to play. But the reason why I'm taking the Temple team total and not the spread is, what about if Oklahoma actually does care and they put Temple away quickly? But then we could be looking at garbage time. With Auburn coming up for Oklahoma, I doubt if Oklahoma does end up getting a large lead that they keep their foot on the gas, because you have a defensive-minded coach in Brent Venables, and then you bring up Casey Keeler, John, a few minutes ago. Very good coach. You and I were on Casey Keeler and Sam Houston last year in Conference USA play. We love Casey Keeler. This Temple team has no doubt improved, especially offensively. So with this number at 13.5 for Temple's team total, I feel pretty good about Temple getting 14, maybe to even like 21 points here, because I feel like there's a good chance either Oklahoma doesn't come out swinging or they don't finish swinging in this matchup. And maybe Temple is actually like an okay team. We don't know that, but what about if they are? This is still a spot for Oklahoma where you wouldn't be shocked if they didn't keep their foot on the gas from start to finish. So I feel like the reason why I'm not taking the spread with Temple or Oklahoma is because either way, I feel like that screams backdoor. So you're going to be sweating that out. If you end up getting on the right side of that, good for you. And that goes for anyone, whatever side they have there. So the reason why I'm going with Temple's team total is because if this game ends up being kind of competitive for a little while, it's not going to be competitive in the fashion 3-0 or 7-0 Oklahoma for 1.5, 2 quarters. It's probably going to be more like 14-10 or 17-10, or maybe it's like 24-14 in the third quarter. So give me Temple's team total over 13.5. I like the spot for Temple, and I trust Casey Keeler. I think they can get 14 to 21 points in this game.
Yeah, and the game total is 51.5. Just to notate there. And yeah, I agree with you. And the one thing that stuck out to me with Oklahoma against Michigan, Oklahoma pretty much just sat on the ball like the whole fourth quarter, and they didn't really try to run up the score. They ran a little trick play, which I think the tight end dropped it in the end zone. And but other than that, they were they were pretty happy just to let their defense do the talking and let Mateer just, kind of do some quarterback powers. They ran it a little bit too much with him for my liking in a game that they're trying to put away. But yeah, I think that if they do get the lead, kind of like you're saying, if it does get close, they're going to want to sit on this ball in the second half, let Beneville's defense do the, shut it out. But yeah, I think we may have an interesting game here for sure, especially an early kickoff. Um,
I could see a scenario where Temple scores like 7 early points or maybe like 3 or 6 early
mhm,
points. And then maybe they don't score for a while, but I do feel like Temple is going to get some garbage time points in this game, so
uh-huh,
I'm also considering that. So if Oklahoma ends up blowing Temple out and Temple does not score more than 13 points, then this is a learning lesson.
yeah,
This is not me trying to overhype Temple. This is me simply stating I don't love the spot for Oklahoma, but I still wouldn't take the spread just because we don't really know how good Temple is just yet. I just feel like this is a game where Temple's going to find a way to muster 7 or 10 points where like maybe, you could argue that they wouldn't get it if Oklahoma had been playing their A+ game, but that's
mhm,
the thing. Are we going to get OU's A+ game from start to finish? I doubt it.
yeah. Yeah, and to piggyback on that, if they do score 14 points, you add 24 to that, that's, 38 points. They should be able to, cover. If they can score 14 points, I think they can cover 24, 23 points. Let's see. Andrew says, I live in suburban Philly. Temple vastly improved. That's good. It should be a good game for you to watch tomorrow, for sure, especially if you live in the Philly area.
So I want Andrew's thoughts real quick. Like, does he think like Temple is improved to the point where they can actually move the football without getting lucky, or do they need like things to go right to get those 14, 17 points? Because when I've watched Temple, I feel like they've improved to the point where they can muster 7 or 10 points here from moving the football. It's
Hmm.
those other 7 to 10 points that I'm expecting to come a little bit from garbage time. So I want Andrew's thoughts on that. But I just feel like Temple is going to end up getting about